Yo lleno de historias sin paquimpañas de grandeza. ¿Y qué nos dieron? Nada de espectáculo de vergüenza. Ni Maldini, ni Caca, ni Gattuso. El alma de este club está ausente. Red Bull, Fonseca. Ustedes no entienden lo que es Milan. Sin pasión, nos faltaron al respeto. Esto no es Milan. Sin pasión, sin honor, sin corazón. En nuestra casa dejaron la traición. San Siro lloró por los que no están. Red Bull y Fonseca, ustedes no son Milán. Sin lucha, sin ganas, sin dignidad. Sin 105 años y no supieron celebrar. Leyendas ausentes, el respeto se perdió. Los tipos y cansados, esto se acabó. El 35 debía ser un día sagrado, pero Red Bull y su circo lo han destrozado. Ni Maldini, ni Carlo, ni Caca en la escena, porque ellos saben que esto ya no vale la pena. Jugadores en el campo sin fuego en la mirada, leyendas mirando desde lejos desilusionadas. Gattuso hubiera peleado con sangre en la piel, pero hoy vimos cobardes sin alma ni nivel. Ancelotti en Madrid, observando desde lejos, pensando ese mes ni Milan no es el reflejo. Boban silenciado por decir la verdad, hoy todos sabemos que esto no puede durar. Sin pasión, sin honor, sin corazón. En nuestra casa dejaron la traición. San Siro lloró por los que no están. Red Bull y Fonseca, ustedes no son Milán. Sin lucha, sin ganas, sin dignidad. Sin 105 años y no supieron celebrar. Leyendas ausentes, el respeto se perdió. Los tifos y cansados, esto se acabó. San Siro gritó, pero nadie escuchó. La curva su lloro, el respeto se murió. Maldini no vino y eso lo dice todo. El alma del Milan quedó en el lodo. Fonseca en la banca, sin saber qué hacer. Un fantasma en el club que no quiere aprender. Y Red Bull contando billetes en su mansión, mientras los tipos sí pierden toda conexión. 105 años de gloria y de sudor, pero en el campo no hay ni una pizca de amor. Pares y Rivera nos miran desde el cielo. ¿Qué pasó con mi Milan? ¿Dónde está el respeto? Nos prometieron grandeza, nos dieron excusas, nos quitaron las leyendas, dejaron la ruina. Los tipos ya estamos hartos, llegó el final. Red Bull y Fonseca, prepárense para luchar. Sin pasión, sin honor, sin corazón. En nuestra casa dejaron la traición. San Siro lloró por los que no están. Red Bull y Fonseca, ustedes no son Milán. Sin lucha, sin ganas, sin dignidad. Sin 105 años y no supieron celebrar. Leyendas ausentes, el respeto se perdió. Los tipos y cansados, esto se acabó. Tipo Milán. San Siro no es para los negocios, es para el alma. Los tipos sí merecemos más. Maldini, Ancelotti, Gattuso, Boban, ellos son Milan, ustedes no. Esto no se olvida. Red Bull, tu tiempo se acaba. Forza Milan, respete en la historia, nunca sin pasión. Sin pasión.
What's up, Milan Nation? What's going on? What a fucking horrible performance today, Milan Nation. Horrible performance today. But before I get into the game, the shit show that went down today on the 125th anniversary of our storied club, our beautiful club that we all fell in love with for different reasons. Just want to give a shout out to M11 Podcasts, Mercenary TV, for supporting the channel as well. And with that being said, let's get on with the show today. All right, before we get into the game though, and the shit that went on today in front of the legend that did show up. Obviously, there were a few that didn't show up, some big names for, that's a big indication of what they feel about management and how this project is being run by this American ownership. All right. But like I said, before we get into it, I do want to touch something first. Mr. Musa. All right. So last week on last game, a lot of people were shitting on Musa for that goal. I actually took a look at it. I didn't see the whole game, watched the highlights. And, Kush broke it down on his show. but I wanted to kind of take a quick dive into that play really quick before we get into today's game. All right. So here's the play right here, real quick. So here we go. That's that misplaced pass by the opposing team, right? There's nobody in the midfield. Check out our back line. We got 1, 2, 3. You're supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be some kind of shape. You're supposed to be compact in the back. That wasn't the case. I don't know what this hell this is. This is placed. I put the blame on the players for this, and more importantly, Fonseca and his fucking staff for not making the tactical adjustments. This is happening in practice. I guarantee it, and it's not being corrected during the week. We're seeing it on the fucking field. You never play defense like this. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is something you see with little 6-year-old kids when they're running on the pitch for the first time, not knowing where they are on the field and their responsibilities. That's the first problem with this play. There's nobody here. You're supposed to be compact. There's no reason for Theo to be right here covering this play. He doesn't pose any threat. He's supposed to be tucked in just a little bit to provide that cover and balance, which we talked about a million times. All right? So that's one. And the second clip, there he loses the ball. There's where Musa loses the ball. He wasn't trying to dribble and he dribbled into trouble. Yeah, Musa was at fault to a certain degree to this. But again, he loses the ball and he takes off right here. Right? And he gets the shot on goal. If they was tucked in just a little bit, he would be able to recover and he would be providing that coverage, that depth for Musa. So again, I don't want to hear anybody who's saying, "Oh, this is Musa's fault. Musa. Oh, he's a shitty player." He's not the worst player on this fucking team. The kid has potential. He doesn't have the right coach. He had Pioli putting him in 50 million positions. You don't do that at this stage of somebody's career. You keep him at 1 or 2 position tops. You don't keep playing him at 20 different fucking positions and ask him to perform, especially at a young age, especially at a new club, especially more important in a tactical league like Serie A. And under Fonseca, the same shit. So, again, this goal does not fall solely on Musa. This is the back line not doing its fucking job, not being compact, being all over the place like a bunch of little 6-year-old kids. You're not supposed to be all spread out like this. You're supposed to be compact. I've said 100 million fucking times. So Fonseca, this falls on you as well. And the players, all right, for not adjusting. I don't care what Fonseca is saying on the field. They need to adjust. They're not controlled by a joystick by the coach. The players have their own minds, they have the ability to make changes on the field. All right. So that's all I have to say about that play from that game. All right. So let's move on today's shit show of a game. Because today was atrocious, by the way. Let me get rid of the... Okay, there you go. Let's get into today's shit show of a match. Where to even begin? So obviously we did see Liberali today. We did see Kamat. We did see Jimenez play. All right. They were forced in this game because Fonseca didn't have a lot of choices due to injury. You don't call up all these players to prove a point like that and throw them into the fire. You ease in players so they can adjust and develop and build confidence. You just don't throw them in, especially at that young age, like Liberali, and expect them to perform. All right? With that being said, he performed pretty well. I took a lot. I noticed how he played. Beginning, he was a little bit, he kind of had to build up his confidence at the beginning of the game. And rightfully so. He's playing senior football against adults. All right, he's not playing those kids that he played in the summertime during the U.S. tour. But his movement off the ball was pretty good. He was trying to find that time and space to find that space for his teammates to get on the ball. When he did, he made some good plays. He lost the ball a couple times, sure, but that's to be expected. You're playing at the 125th anniversary of your clubs in front of a full packed stadium with legends. All right. Well, there were obviously some legends missing in this game. I'll get to that in a bit. There's a ton of pressure already on the team to perform, being that it's the 125th anniversary of the club. What do you expect this kid to do? Overall, he had a decent game. Much better than RLC. All right? We're not going to expect him to play like Yamal and take over the games. Not yet. Someday, sure. Same thing with Jimenez. Jimenez showed pace, which we expected from him. He linked up with Leal a few times on that side, similar to how Theo used to play, building that relationship type of football, right? Was giving goals, overlaps, 1-2s, etc. And the one thing I was really impressed with him, he did recover. He showed the drive, even though you don't have he does have the speed. He showed the drive. Once we lost the ball, he was recovering, getting back, so we weren't getting counter on his side of the field. And a couple of times when he was 1v1 on the wide channel, he actually took a pretty good defensive positioning and slowed the player down. Actually took the ball away once or twice. But he had a good game as well. I'd like to see him on the right side. All right? Because Royal has no business. Well, he had a decent game, but let's be honest. Again, Royal is an experienced player. We expect more out of him. And you go into the bench Genoa that offered nothing today offensively. I perform on the right side, play Theo, find Theo a vice for Theo. Hopefully, if he stays around, we have a solid back four. So, all right, let's move on to Tijani. Where was he today? I see a bunch of Milanisti out there. Oh, he's the best midfielder in Serie A. He's a world-class player. No, he's not. Let's get that straight. Pump the brakes on that world-class talk. Is he a nice player? Yes. But if you want to be world-class, you need to be consistent. You need to be able to take over games when your team needs you. And by the way, I see an Interista in here. What's up, Alex? Hey, Carmelo as well. Barella was won the best midfielder award in Serie A. I think it's 5 or 6 times in a row. That's world-class. When you get to that level, you can consider yourself world-class. You can start calling Tijani world-class. Until then, pipe down, my fellow Milanisti, Milan Nation. Tijani's not there yet. Because today he ghosted again. And don't even get me started on Morata. Where was he today? Ghosted. Completely. Continue looking for fouls on the opposing players, complaining to the ref. And there was one shot out of the 18-yard box he shot it to the 5th row. And he was looking for a foul that he got hit in the face. The player didn't even touch him. So I'm done with Morata. I don't want to hear it. I said it when we first signed him. All right, if you notice his stats from last season, he went through these big droughts between games without scoring goals. And I pointed it out when we signed him. And a lot of fans, oh, he's a leader, he's a good player, blah, blah, blah. And he's going through that drought right now when we need him. We're currently in 8th fucking place. 8th place. Bologna, with less talent than we do, from starting 11. Even their bench is not that deep. They're ahead of us. All right? Kamada when he came in. Because I know I'm hearing some talk about Kamada's performance. Oh, he should have done better. The kid's still young. He came in the 60th minute. What do you expect him to do? If he's not getting if Morata couldn't do a goddamn thing, you're supposed to be the leader, you're supposed to be the captain from the Spanish national team, blah, blah, blah. He's a veteran. What do you expect the kid to do? He had one header, and Morata was right there, and he kind of interfered with him. And he didn't get any service from his midfielders. Tajani didn't create anything for him. What did Fofana do today as well? He was ghosted as well. He ghosted offensively, but more importantly, on the defensive side as well. Didn't offer anything. The only people that offered anything defensively today was our back line. Gabia, Chow, holding the back line, making sure we had our shape, we had our structure, we were compact, we were making sure they were recovering on those third man runs, on those cutback passes. They did a great job today. But again, let's keep it in context. It's against Genoa. But the back line had a decent game today. But where was our midfielders? These world-class midfielders that we keep hearing about. Ghosted. And overall, let's be honest, this team came out with no passion, no fight, nothing. And I don't blame the kids at all today. I'm not blaming Liberali for this. I'm not putting on Kamada, Jimenez. Those kids are not at fault. Where are the leaders? Step up. Take this fucking game. Grab it by its balls. Grab it. And come out with a win. On the 125th anniversary of our club. Disgusting. Now, before I get into some stats, I'm not going to get into too many stats. Just a few. To show you how inept we were today. Offensively. And in the midfield as well. What the hell was that during that pregame show? Some bullshit that Red put together had nothing to do with Milanismo. Nothing. That was embarrassing to see that. People in the chat, Carmelo, whoever else who's watching this live right now, give me your thoughts on today's game, the embarrassing pregame, everything I just talked about. That being said, I'm going to get into some stats. So, look how inept we were offensively today. This is fucking embarrassing. Expected goals 1.21. Genoa 0.23. We had 22 goals, shots on goal. 4 on target. I say 4. 22 shots total. Only 4 on target, 1 big chance. 1. And we had 9 corners. 9 corners. And we didn't make anything out of it. Not hanging the posts, not making the keeper really work hard, nothing. And look at the defense. They had 8 interceptions. We had 5. Clearances 31-19. Duels. We won only 44% of our duels today. That's embarrassing as well. They won 56. Aerial duels, we won 48. They won 52. Fucking disgusting. I don't know. Even Royale played 90 minutes. They gave him a rating of 8.4. Fatma. Well, Fatma is a fucking joke. Fucking ridiculous. Tajani, total shots 3. Our big world-class midfielder. Oh, the kid Morten Frederick. That's the kid we were looking at. He played 90 minutes. He didn't impress me either. So Morten Frederick is a midfielder that we're actually linked to during for January as another midfielder to add to our depth. The kid played 90 minutes. Let's see what he did defensively. He had 4 recoveries, 1 block shot, 3 clearances. Decent game, but he's not a game changer. I don't even know why we're looking at him. Fofana had 4 recoveries as well. But none of them led to any attacks, any counterattacks at all. So, honestly, I don't even want to look at the stats anymore. There's nothing to be said about them. This was an embarrassment. And honestly, even before the game started, I went back and forth, I don't know how many times today, thinking, should I even go live today on a postgame? I worked today. I worked 7 days this week from home. And I said, should I go live after today's game? Should I even bother? Because I took some time off. So let me go. So I'm sure people want to vent. We're going to open the lines a little bit and invite people in the chat, especially Milan Nation. Sorry, Alex. Today's not the day to get you on the show. All right. But Carmelo, if you want to chime in, I know if you have a hard time getting in. I know Rosenary TV, they're going live as well right now. But whoever's in the chat, we're going to open up the lines in a minute. I'm going to share the link in the chat, and you guys can vent. I'm going to give you your time for you guys to go rants at the club, the players, whatever. So let's get into the next segment, 120th anniversary. Maldini, Kaká, Carlo Ancelotti, and Gattuso. Those were the 4 big names missing from today. Obviously, we knew Maldini wasn't going to come. We went back and forth. On that. Sure, the club invited him, but let's be honest. They did that. By the way, you're making me drink today, Redbird. So, thanks. Yeah, obviously Redbird's going to invite him. They don't want to lose face publicly, right? Public perception. But did we really think Maldini was going to show up? And I know some people say, well, Maldini should show up. How can he not show up for today's celebrations? Listen. And for everybody out there, podcasters, fans who are throwing shit at Maldini on today, I seen you guys. I seen everybody posting your shit on Maldini the last 2 days. Especially today, old days. He's earned the right to do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wanted to go to San Siro and take his shit on his fucking chair, which he won't because he's got too much class. That's something Eber would probably do. That pig. He'll do it. All right? Because some players are bigger than the club. All right? We all know the history of Maldini, the Maldini name, how many years Maldini played for the club, all the trophies that he helped win, everything that he meant to Milan and to hundreds and hundreds of kids at the time watching him play and inspiring them to play football or to maybe play left back, whatever the case was. So pipe down, pump the brakes on all the Maldini, throwing shades of Maldini. I don't want to hear it. All the frauds out there, keep going, you're going to get cooked. All right? I'm going to cook you like a fucking gyro on a spit. Kaká didn't show up. Carlo didn't show up. Gattuso didn't show up. I'm not sure what Kaká didn't show up, but you have these big names not showing up. It does take something away from today's celebration. It speaks volumes to what these players, former players, think about management. And yes, I got into a discussion with somebody else online. Well, Carlo was coaching his team. Fact. Real Madrid played yesterday. Spain is not too far from Milan. It's not like the United States where it takes you 6 hours cross country to go from one side to another. This is Europe. Train systems are amazing. They're fucking, all right, whatever. And Carlos got enough money to go to have a private fucking plane if he wanted to and go to Milan on the day after his team just played. Because they're not training today, Madrid. Today's actually Madrid's taking a day off. They don't train after games today. So, yeah. It's a shame that these, especially Maldini, Kaká, Carlo, and Gattuso did show up, especially Maldini, with everything that went down. But you can't blame him at all. He's earned the right to do whatever the fuck he wants. And I was talking about it with some friends on the chat, on the WhatsApp chat from Milanista 360. And I was kidding. Oh, half kidding. It would have been nice to see Gattuso show up and just slap the shit out of Jerry. Because he had it coming. He has it coming. Or maybe Ibra as well, too. All of them. Because, Gattuso, even though he's in his 50s right now, he still got that personality. He still has that dog in him. All right, so guys in the chat, everybody in the chat, give me your thoughts. Let me hear what you guys have to say. The conversation's a little quiet. I know I'm sure some of you were upset. Don't know really what to say about today's game, but it's just the whole performance, like I said, from the beginning, from the pregame bullshit that went down, that embarrassing display with the music. I mean, myself and Shane and Lab Gorilla over here at Milans 360, we make much better music, killer music for Milan than those artists did at the beginning of the game. They should have used our music instead, to be honest. Because that's real Milanism. Because we bleed for this badge. Unlike Redbird. Unlike those musicians that did the pregame. And by the way, let me let's get into this real quick. Let's bring this down. So after today's game, Fonseca came out with some other more bullshit excuses today. His typical post-game quotes, comments. He's always throwing players under the bus, blaming officials. We're seeing a pattern with Fonseca after a loss. Instead of just saying, yeah, we didn't play well, like a real coach should do. All right, put the blame on yourself. Be a man. All right, because we've seen the size of his cajones over there. So bring it then. Take the blame. Put that blame on yourself, Fonseca, and say, yeah, listen, the team didn't come prepared today. It's on me. I didn't prepare them right during the week. Because at the end of the day, the players, they take the lead from the top. If the coach doesn't inspire you at all, how are you going to get inspired to play? So let me pick up his quote right here, right now. Hold on. There it is. So Nicolas Queria, he posted this right, a little bit after the game. Fonseca, we played a good game and created a lot. We played it as a team. All we needed was a goal. Yeah, no shit. We could have made better choices in the final meters. We have good attackers. Abraham left the pitch with a contusion. Morata hasn't trained all week. Again, more excuses. Not even a mention about your midfielders not creating for your forwards or anybody else creating for them. No good cutbacks, no good crosses to open up the space for them to try to score goals. And Morata had plenty of opportunities. I don't want to hear that he didn't train all week. So why'd you play him then? If he wasn't ready to play, why did he play today? Why? Please tell me. If a player's not ready, he's not fit, he's not physically ready, mentally ready to play, why are you playing in a game that's needed to win? To stay within the race of top 5. Forget about top 4. Forget about the Scudetto. That's done. That's over with. We have zero chances of top 4. Or even Scudetto. Scudetto's way gone. We're done. Inter, Atlanta, Fiorentina even, they're in the race. But yet, in a game that we needed to win to get 3 points in front of your former great players as well. You put the guy in. You could have put Kamada in there. Kamada has shown a lot more than Morata. And I'm sure he trained during the week. But no, Fonseca decides to put Morata, and then, he didn't. But he didn't train all week. That's on you too, Fonseca. That's on you. And what do you expect Kamada to do? You should have been integrated better as well. You had the whole season to integrate these kids. All right, I'm going to open up the lines here because I'm disgusted. All right, let me get the invite and put it in the chat. Carmelo, anybody else? Like I said, Alex. Yeah, now I know stinky performance, no shit. Let me put this here. Okay. Hold on. Why can't I share the link? There we go. Okay. Oh, fuck you, Restream. Why can't I share the link? All right. Link won't let me share the link because you suck. It's just like Milan sucks a big bag of dicks in Redbird. Hold on, guys. Because I can't share the link here. Hold on. Let me share it a different way. Let's see. Let's get the link here. Copy URL. Let's put it in the chat. I'm not seeing these chats. I'm not sorry, guys. For some reason, everything they put in here, I'm not seeing it in Restream. Restream is acting fucking weird. This is what I'm seeing here. Let me go down the chat. See if that's all right. So Stinky, imagine watching a full 90 minutes. The minutes played well. Yeah, he did. Good seeing you, lad. I didn't see you on the chat earlier. Now I'm seeing you here on my phone. Looks like the kids walking into the photo booth to develop images. Embarrassing light show with lame dancers taking center stage to form a shitty 125th. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Yeah, that was embarrassing, Lab. Oh, Rivera too, no invite. What the fuck about not understanding history? Yeah, I missed that one, Lab. Thanks. Yeah, good point, Alex. Maldini without Milan is like without Juve or Moratti, Moratti without Inter, yeah. Too late for me, Nico. Family all in bed. Sorry, anyone else, please join. All right. Like I said, I know Rosaneri's got their post game. They're live right now, so I'm sure there's a ton of people on that show right now because I know they're got the full house of people, and I know he's been out of action for a little bit, but he's back. All right, I guess Rosaneri Rumble's going to be fucking Rosaneri. I don't know, fucking. So nobody wants to fight either, huh? All right.
Fight.
I'm not. By the way, I'm not getting blitzed. I'm not getting lit up right now. This is actually sin alcohol beer. All right, I was just feeling for the taste of beer today. This is actually pretty good. But after today's show, I'll be getting down with some real heavy German beer today and some carne asada at my in-laws' house. So here's a topic John just brought up. I'm glad you brought this up, John. Excuse me, guys. Apologies. Let's look at the stats real quick. And I'll get into what John just said. Because John just brought up something that I wanted to be kind of leaning back and forth about bringing it up. But let me pull up this Syria. So, all right. Milan Nation, strap into your seats and get ready to hear some fucking just grab a box of tissues or something because this is going to make you fucking sad. Udinese, they're 3 points behind us. And ninth. Bologna, like I said. By the way, with the new coach, they lost Calafiore, they lost Xerxes, they have Lukumi, but other than that, I mean, they're not even close to what they were last season. But Italiano hasn't playing well. And they're at 25 points. This is updated, huh? I'm guessing it is. Juve, even though they're struggling, I guess, according to their fans, or all the draws they've had, they're at 28. They're 5 points ahead of us. Lazio, new coach. They struggled last season. They were horrible last season. They were terrible. And they don't have the greatest teams. They're not stacked, but they have a really good coach, good tactics. They believe in their coach as well, the system that he's playing. They're at 31. Fiorentina 31. Palladino. They lost today. Inter, obviously, they're in the hunt. Napoli and Atlanta. Again, and we have Udinese nipping at us, Empoli, and Torino. If we don't get our shit together, if we keep winning one, losing one, winning one, drawing, and Udinese starts picking up steam, Empoli picks up a couple games, there's a good chance we might fall into 10th place. Which is, overall, that's the case. The season's is fucking, need to just burn it all to the fucking ground. Especially two things that happen or don't happen. Well, one happens. One, we don't strengthen our squad during January, which I doubt is going to happen. Given the names that we're linked with are not anything to write home about. Not impressive. Even that kid Frederick, he's all right. He's not going to change the face of the team. All right. Even with Benny coming back, we don't know what kind of Benny we're going to get back. He's still a very compromised player. All the injuries that he's had over the years, the last 2 seasons. Those lower extremity injuries are really bad for athletes. You lose structure. You lose, your pace, your quickness. You're able to move laterally. All those things, especially when you're a midfielder, you need to do to cut off the ball, to recover balls. Things of that nature. All those little pieces that you need, right, to actually play at a high level, which Benny used to play. And 2, we still haven't been hit by the injury, like a lot of injuries yet, not like last season, which can still happen as well. Look at our fucking midfielders. We had Fofana, Tajani playing almost the whole game today again. I think they played 90 minutes both again. And like I said, your midfield is the lifeblood of your team. Look at Man City. They lost Rodri. They fell apart. Look at Real Madrid. They lost Kraus. They struggled for a while. They're starting to get the hang of it now because they just have really good players. And Bellingham is eventually going to start understanding his role. And Carl's going to make the right adjustments tactically in his personnel and things of that nature to get the team going. But they struggled for a bit in the beginning of the season without Kraus. And if our midfield, we lose Tajani or Fofana for a long period of time, and we really can't depend on Benny to play 90 minutes every fucking game, we're in trouble. And also if we lose Theo or anybody else that nature, we're fucked. And yet the teams ahead of us, I guaranteed Juve, especially the big clubs, teams like Juve, Inter, Napoli, and Atlanta will most likely make big moves this off in January. They'll pick up pieces that they need. Maybe not huge moves, but they're going to pick up pieces for sure. And don't get me started on our center backs, our depth either. We only have 2 good center backs right now. Pavlovic, I don't want him seeing on the field again. Has no fucking business at all. None. Send him back up to Serbia. And you hang out with Andon over there from Milan Lab. I know how much he loves him. He thinks he's the best center back that the world ever seen since fucking Baresi and Beckenbauer. And go hang out with him and drink fucking raki. Right, and maybe work at some fucking nightclubs and be a fucking bouncer. That's all he's good for, Pavlovic. And I'm not going to even get into the tactical stuff with him because I've done it. I've done it numerous times this season on my pod. It's not even worth my time anymore discussing his tactical issues, his tactical deficiencies. And also losing Pulisic as well. That's another one. Because I even forgot. Fuck. Alex, thanks for mentioning that. Chuck Awezi. Again, where was Chuck today? Chuck was awful as well. I didn't even mention that early on. Because if Pulisic's down for a period of time, we got to depend on Chuck. All right, so let me get into something that I wanted to get into. Lab brought up. So Lab mentioned in the chat, Rosaneri went at MWP, but then Abdi came on and spoiled the conversation, if I'm honest. All right. So I'm sure people, unless you live under a fucking rock, you haven't noticed, or you're not on X at all. So Rosaneri TV, Roy, he posted something about Gasparini. He came out of a quote, talking about, algorithms and, CDK. And pretty much, listen, it was a dig at, it was throwing shade at me at Redbird, the way they're running the club. All right. And yes, at Atlanta is owned by Americanos as well. And now, of course, they use algorithms. Every team does, no shit. But it's how you use them, one. And two, the owners of Atlanta have the approach to back off. They back the fuck off, and they put the proper people in place to run the club, the sporting side of things. Unlike us, unlike fucking Jerry. So those are the two major differences right there. And the other one, they have Gasparini. That's their ace in the hole. One of the top coaches in Europe. All right? And you're seeing the click right now. So anyway, he posted it. MWP responded. I'm guessing Marcello, he's the president of MWP. I think that's who went back. They went back and forth and said, no, it's not. And then Roy said, yeah, well, you guys support Redbird. And Marcello said, well, we don't. And obviously that's a lie. And they said, oh, can we see proof? And there's proof out there. Because in the past, there's been some of their hosts that have gone on other shows. They've been on our show in the past. They've contradicted themselves. And I know they're going to say, well, we're not professionals. We're just having fun. Listen, your words have fucking meaning. If you're going to go on your show in front of your audience and say, well, we fuck Redbird, or whatever the case, fuck Redbird, or, this and this. And then also say, well, anybody who supports, who wants Milan to lose is a fake fan. But then you go on other shows and you say the opposite thing. You just flip the script and say, well, I want them to lose against Monza, Milan. And there's fucking evidence out there. I mean, shit, it streams up online on fucking YouTube. And you came on our show a while back and you said, well, yeah, Redbird, yeah, we should give Redbird time and management time and et cetera, et cetera. Listen, fine. At least be honest. Like, yeah, so what? I flipped the script. I changed my fucking mind. So they went back and forth, and now on Rosaneri TV, if you guys are interested, they did kind of go after them on their show. I don't know if they still are. That's the bit of it. All right. And me personally, I could care less if you support Redbird. Don't support Redbird. Don't support Redbird. Whatever the case is, I have my feelings. People on this channel, we all see eye to eye on things. But be fucking consistent, and don't sit there and lie and say, "No, I never said that," because you did. And if anybody's caught me in a lie, contradicting myself, which I haven't, just because of, like some other people, and just to chase subs, just to gain more subs on their channel and grab more attention, whatever the case is. I want you to call me out as well. Like, yo, Nico, you fucking contradicted yourself. You're a fucking liar. I'll admit it. So just be fucking consistent. All right. Listen, I was hoping some other people would jump on today. Like I said, it looks like, I know it's late for a lot of people out there, especially in the UK, overseas as well, which is fine. It's good. But just some closing comments. All right. And I say this, where do you even fucking begin? This today's game, today's performance, the things that went on, the whole season. Honestly, Milan Nation out there ready to chat, there's not much to say at all. I mean, everything's out there. We're seeing what's happening with the club. We're seeing the fucking joke that we've become. We're on that side. We're seeing on the sporting side where we're at, the direction of the team. All right. There's not much to be excited about. For me, I'm not excited about much. I mean, I was excited today seeing Liberali play today, and I'm hoping he continues to play. I hope this wasn't a one-time thing. Same thing with Jimenez as well. Because like I said, I think Jimenez, especially, he's physically ready to play senior ball full time, and he should be taking a Royal spot. So I hope, if not Fonseca, I hope the next coach who comes in, whenever that is, if and when we hire a coach, and if he's an improvement, an upgrade from Fonseca, sees that Jimenez is the real deal, and he deserves to be our starting right back. Liberali as well, I'm hoping he gets more of a chance too, and not being used just out of just to spite the other players or to try to prove a point or because people are injured, because the kid has talent. He needs to grow into his body a bit, but that's the whole point of playing in the Futuro, which they haven't done either. That project is gone. That project has gone to hell. That's just blown up in everybody's face. Because the main objective, the main goal of the Futuro is to get the kids ready to play senior ball, to get them to be physical, ready for that physicality. The tactical part of the game, that's probably the Primavera. Once you step into the Series C, you should be getting the kids ready to be physical, to what to expect when you're playing against grown men. And I'm hoping Kamada gets more of an opportunity as well. Obviously, physically he's there. The kid's grown a lot since last season. You're seeing the kids working out, and more importantly, he bleeds Milanismo. Same thing with Liberali as well. So let's see what happens. So if not, honestly, if this shit continues, I don't see a point of wasting my time watching these games, especially taking notes, and not just kicking back and just enjoying the game as a casual fan, and then going on a post game. It really isn't. So I'm going to sit and talk about the same thing over and over again, and nothing's changed from the ownership perspective, how things are being fucking run, the people in charge, the people running things, and the tactical part of the game. That's on Fonseca. What the fuck is the point? It brings me no fucking joy at all. It just becomes work, and I'm not getting paid to do this at all. I don't have sponsors, none of that. All right. So with that being said, Milan Nation, thanks for tuning in. All right. As always, Forza Milan. Fuck Redbird. All right. And one last word for anybody out there that was pro Redbird and is fucking anti fucking Redbird now. Stick to your guns. That's all I got to say. Don't go back and forth. And once Redbird shows some kind of they do something different and some positivity, you go back and start supporting them again. You're going to be called out. All right. That being said, take it easy. Forza Milan.